Alright, hello everybody! I hope y'all are ready to end the night with some Yokai Buster Ruka no Daiboken. It roughly translates to Phantom Buster Yokai. Ruka's Big Adventure? Ruka's Adventure? Something like that. I actually looked it up earlier and I already forgot. The lore failed. I actually watched the opening cutscene earlier today just so I could get that lore. It's all in Japanese. I didn't know what was going on.
Oh man. See, you know
The gist of it is the end boss stole the head's body, and Ruka's trying to help him get it back. I think that's pretty much it. There is no connection between this and Mousetrap Hotel.
That's funny. The demo.
Thank you for the good luck.
People are thinking like, oh man, you started, but it's just the demo.
Yeah, it's just a demo. It's just a demo.
It's plus one, guys. We got the timer.
Until I show the option screen displaying the difficulty as per Dave's rules.
Man, somebody said that in chat earlier. Was it epic?
It was epic.
Yeah, it's true actually. It's like that with Yokai Busters, like that with Golf by Suki. So. Alright, well, I am good whenever you are good, sir. So count me down. I promise I will put the timer on the screen.
Alrighty. Yeah, let me go ahead and go to the options menu. So I am running this on hard mode. If you go to the leaderboard, Dave did separate easy, normal, and hard. There are no runs on easy and normal, so if you want a free world record, go for it. I believe Dave chose to run this on hard because he wanted to run the hard version. And that's why I run the hard version, because Dave had a world record in this game. I disagreed with that, so I decided to take it.
Literally sniped. Like, literally, actually, wait. You appeared, literally, you messaged me one night. You're like, Dave, I want to stream something for you. And I was thinking, wow, what a nice guy. And then you literally proceeded to stream you bopping me in this game for no reason.
We'll say, it wasn't hard to beat your time.
No, it's not. It was pretty shitty back then, so.
I believe on the leaderboard you still have a 37-42.
It's the worst. I think it's literally last place, so.
It is.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. But man, this is a really good game. I like this one a lot. I know people like it too.
Yes, quick background on the game. This is a reskin / Japanese version of the Jetsons' Invasion of the Pirates. It feels like a completely different game. It has a completely different layout. Some of the bosses are the same. If you've played both, you'll see similarities, but this game just is better, 100%. It has better music, it has better gameplay, better stage layout, no auto-scrollers, or very small auto-scrollers. The Jetsons has this long bike auto-scroller that you have to get through, and it's a mess.
Yeah, and there is another boss that also sucked that was like that electric thing or whatever back then, so.
But alrighty, I will get into the run. The run's gonna be... The harder strats are very top-heavy. In the first stage is where the harder strats are. After that, it just becomes like a normal platformer. We're on hard. I'm gonna say 3, 2, 1, go. 3, 2, 1, go.
I can explain the first stage if you want.
Go for it.
Alright, so we, as a collective effort back then...
Ooh, I didn't get it.
Oh, okay, so... Bird just missed kind of like a frame perfect thing, which is awful, which I routed, so... but you have a very specific amount of frames to throw a watermelon against the wall there to collect a power-up. So it's one of the earliest ways you can kind of guarantee a power-up for the boss that's coming up. And if that wasn't horrible, because it's, I think, literally a frame-perfect window, Bird and I, a long time ago, routed these 2 skips that are kind of like in the stage where... I don't know what really happens or like why it works, but you can like wedge yourself in between this switch with the watermelon. And
the watermelon pushes you into the floor, and then you like zip across the screen like that.
Yeah, so we routed in both of these things, and no joke, out of all the speedruns that I know, this level 1 is probably one of the more unpleasant ones to do. So Bird pulled off 2 of the 3 tricks there, which is good, but
so we wanted to manipulate the game to get an early power boost. which is that one right there. Now, when I shoot a watermelon at him, he'll take 2 damage instead of 1, which would cut this boss's time in half.
Yeah, and getting all that stuff in Act 1 is, like, actually not very pleasant, so... Epic was saying, like, don't get stuck in stage 1, Joe,
I got hit.
But
I took damage by accident trying to get the power up, and so now we're back at 1 power. This boss is actually not the hardest boss, but it's the only boss that actually can one-shot you compared to all the other bosses, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, he's got. If you get too close to him, he'll grab you and pick you up, and then it's just an instant death. So that's why you kind of see Bird jumping like a maniac at a distance here.
I'm getting a bad pattern. You don't want to see him jump in the middle. You want to see him jump side to side, because that spawns the watermelons. When he jumps in the middle, he doesn't spawn the watermelons. Also, I have to be careful with my watermelon timing, because he will send it back if you try to watermelon him when he's spinning.
There's a lot of watermelon in that sentence.
Watermelon talk. I should say melon.
Watermelon timing. Watermelon back.
The next stage is very satisfying to play. It's the most fun stage to play.
I 100% agree with that. Not only is the platforming really good in this stage, I would argue so far and say it has the best soundtrack too.
Yes.
This is very much a cat jam to my own brain, and the platforming is very fun because it's very precise in how you're jumping on these little wheel cog things, and it just feels really good. You're right. Like it's a very fun section to play in the speedrun.
And because I don't have the extra power, I have to hope that I get one spawned. This guy's gonna follow me. To also fight this next boss quicker. If not, it's just gonna be slightly slower again.
Apparently we both have nothing to say during this session.
Say something.
Dude, I was just like waiting and waiting for you to like pick up and say something, but no. Apparently both of our brains collectively agree, like, this section, nothing to say about it.
Well, I'm the one playing, Dave. I'm just saying.
You know what? I've been the one streaming for almost 12 straight hours. I'm just saying.
Alright, alright.
But no.
So right here, I'm gonna try to damage boost on top of this platform and land on top. That's what I wanted. Instead of falling back down. You don't regain control of Ruka when you take damage until you hit the ground. So if you get hit over a pit, it spells death. You don't recover control until... just a little hard jump to do. Until you land.
I always thought this jump was a little bit hard, but Bird always made it very easy and consistent looking. Like
now that I have 1 power, I can't hit both of them at the same time. What would normally happen is that the watermelon would go through both characters, but I don't have that luxury right now.
See, the other thing it's worth noting too is Bird makes this section look pretty easy. It's actually fairly annoying with like that weird pop can thing or whatever they're throwing at you that tracks you.
I think it's a book.
I guess it kind
You
of
want to kill the guy first, because he well, if he's alone, he'll just start teleporting, and it's harder to kill him. But the woman will do her attack just most of the time. And you don't want to hit the switches on top, because like it happened a second ago, it can stop the conveyor belt, which stops the watermelons from spawning. And that's stage 2.
I always thought this was like a really fast-paced run too, considering like how long it is.
Half the run is the last stage with the boss refight.
True, but that's...
So we're on our first bonus stage. I just need to get the power upgrade, but everything else is just standard platforming.
Yeah, these ones are really weird because like way back in the old days, I remember we put kind of like the task timing, because there was a Japanese task for this Japanese game, which would make sense. But the tasks we wrote down kind of like the timing in the bonus levels, and I remember you periodically going back and like beating pretty much every bonus level that the task had back then.
The task, even though it's a task, it was not well routed.
No, and we did find some stuff that wasn't in the tasks. I think this is actually one of them, where you could like run through one of the walls here.
There's so these guys will throw your shots back, and I accidentally threw one of the enemies into him. That's why I had to pause it. So at the end of this stage, I need at least 4 hearts before the boss to do a boss quick kill. It is possible to take damage periodically throughout this stage, so I might take slight precautions to not take damage.
It's pretty easy to get damaged in this stage. There's a couple sections like this one coming up with the fire that's pretty annoying to kind of dodge properly.
And this yellow door right here, you see it goes off into space? Oh, I died. How did I get hit? What hit me? I have no idea what hit me.
You're just demonstrating what's inside the door.
Yes, that's clearly left over from the Jetsons, because why am I in space all of a sudden?
I don't know. I always thought that door was like so out of place, but literally as Lucas said in the chat, this actually was Jetson and the Space Pirates or something in the Super Nintendo version. But yeah, it's like Yokai is an infinitely better game because it gets rid of again 2 auto-scrollers and the boss that's like massively RNG heavy, so.
Oh good, I got power there. Okay, I got full power. I got lucky with some drops.
That was pretty lucky, yeah.
I'm just gonna take it slow here because I definitely need the full 4 hearts. And I don't think I have the full max 5. So just like you could upgrade your power, you could upgrade the number of hearts to a max of 5. And when you die, you lose 1 max heart.
When you die too, you also lose power, so it kind of becomes a death loop pretty quickly, especially casually.
So when you do a suction up and start going towards a platform, it actually, you have a hitbox and you can damage enemies with it, which I'm gonna do on this boss to do a quick kill. But I need a damage boost to do it, which is why I need the HP. There you go.
Nice.
Also, when you run to a wall, you get this little bonk animation. This is the only place I thought I could actually show it off. You're actually immune. You have iframes during it too.
That's silly. I didn't know that you could like bonk your head like that and then go into like that spinning stage animation or whatever.
I've never done it at the end of a stage.
Oh well, there you go. The more we know.
I'm gonna take this, so I have full HP. So during the bonus stages, I did try to figure out a way to skip them. I tried trying to kill Ruka. I tried starting select. Nothing really worked. So we just gotta try to get through them as quickly as possible.
Yeah, I would say that's like one of the only downsides to this run, because even the boss rush isn't too bad, but the bonus stages are just, they really aren't the same as the platforming. So
they're satisfying in their own way, but it'd just be better if we could skip them. There are spikes that spawn, but they don't kill you. You can take infinite damage there.
Can we appreciate how bad this sprite is?
The man baby?
Yes. I've never liked this guy at all. Like...
So this stage also has some pretty tight platforming. Especially in the second section.
Man, I feel we missed out, you know, like, when this game was kind of newer and naming, like, some of these strats, because we could have said, you know, like, grandma skip, or, like, some kind of grandma something. All the grandmas running around in this stage.
Take that extra heart. So right here, there's going to be a tight watermelon jump. See if I can do it. You got it?
See, tight watermelon jump is like, that should be canon, like 100%. Or like watermelon smash in a grandma's face, like that should be canon. Like we missed a lot of opportunities back then, so.
You could always still name them, there's nothing. Never too late.
Yeah, I guess so. Alright, so coming up, Bird is gonna fight probably the worst boss, I think, literally, in the entire game. It's like some kind of fire cat thing, fire grandma. I forget what it is. It's like a fire cat grandma. I think it's not even a cat. Like, my brain wants to think it's a cat.
It's a cat in the Jetsons.
Okay, that's why I think that. So it's actually just a grandma here.
It's like a witch, grandma, fire thing. Oops.
Regardless, it is one of
Damage crystal
the...
here. I'm actually take a safety heart here just because, like, I could either take no damage or she could just decide to kill me. It's kind of weird.
Man, that's not the Bird I know. When did you become a coward?
You called me out and called me a bitch during your Beard Blade run. What are you talking about?
Coward!
You said, oh my god, Bird takes an extra heart in Beard Blade. He's a filthy casual.
I so totally did. That's the
was.
Yeah, I totally did.
But you see how I'm putting out the flames as I'm damaging her? It's possible that the flames will still hit me. And also, while she's flying around, she could just spawn a flame right on top of me, even though I'm aiming up. So, like I said, this boss could just decide to kill me if I get unlucky and I take 5 hits in a row.
Yeah, the fire that comes down too is very easy to accidentally hit you as well. Like, it's got a pretty mean hitbox, and it's pretty hard to extinguish sometimes too without taking a hit.
You can kill her in the in-between phases, it's just hard to do consistent damage to her. There we go. So, that boss was fun, and we're gonna have to fight her again later.
I know. The fact that she's part of the boss rush is just, like, silly.
There's 2 of these bosses we don't fight in the boss rush. We don't fight that spider boss we fought in the previous stage, and... Actually, no, this boss and the next boss we don't fight in the boss rush.
I always thought this stage was kind of neat, but... Like, it's really out of place compared to everything else in this game.
So I need to try to get a loop of damaging it while it flips, but I messed up the timing. I need to damage it while it flips so that it takes damage and flips the screen at the same time, and I haven't gotten it. Oh, but we're done with it. Oh, no, we're not. Okay.
Oh man, scammed.
There we go. Now we're done with it.
The task way to do this is kind of ridiculous, actually. This section always looked way worse than it actually is. You can basically hold right through it for the most part. Maybe, I guess, casually they expect you to slow down, but especially like this kind of stuff, how it just syncs up if you're running through it.
You just have to slow down right before that last one. I pressed back for half a second to avoid the last one.
I just remember thinking like, oh man, this is gonna be so hard to learn, and I was like, whoa, actually, it's pretty easy to learn.
Yeah, this level's pretty quick. We do get another bonus level after this. And then after that's the last platforming stage before the boss rush. You can damage him by sucking up into the ceiling, but it's easy to trade, and I don't want to trade with him right now. At least not in a marathon. And in the second phase is very easy. You just grab him and throw him into the wall a few times and he dies. Oops.
It's actually really
easy to get hit.
Yes, I was gonna say it's a little awkward, and you can get hit pretty easily, kind of like tossing him into the wall like that. But
And I don't know if collecting all the power-ups and points after a boss makes the transition quicker. Kind of was hoping it does, but I don't think it does.
actually, I don't know about that. I don't think I ever timed that or like looked into it at all.
I've never timed it. I just do it just to be on the safe side.
So even though the bonus sections are kind of like bonus stages, and you're thinking like, oh, whatever, the platforming and like what Bird is doing is actually fairly precise and tricky here. Because I guess like she really wants to jump in kind of like a full way, but the way that you have to climb like most of these bonus stages, you're literally doing kind of like a quarter jump or like a half jump, and you're cutting her momentum very short to kind of climb up as fast as possible.
She doesn't like make some of them fully, so that's why you have to, instead of failing the jump and then sucking on the bottom of the stage of the platform, I just go straight for the bottom of the platform.
Yeah, it's very like a manually timed section where it's not automatic at all. Like pretty much every jump is pretty much like a different strength, different variable.
And this level has mermaids that can one-shot you if you get near them. I almost actually died a second ago, because if I had continued going forward, a little shot would have hit me, I would have been in hit stun, and then landed right in front of the mermaid.
Another thing that's kind of weird in this section is you can drown. There is actually kind of like an oxygen timer, but you're never really in the speedrun long enough that it activates.
I think casually you might not either. These sections are pretty short and they're not that much of a labyrinth.
No, actually thinking about it, you have to be using like that suck thing, because then it goes off of her face, because she's actually using it as like an oxygen mask right now. So if you just sit there and like use it in the water, all of a sudden she can't breathe, and then it gives you a countdown that you're gonna die. But
yeah,
actually,
you kind of hear like I kind of remember the Sonic music going on.
Yeah, dude, it is. Like literally, it's the Sonic drowning music. I was literally thinking the exact same thing too.
So if you have Sonic drowning music PTSD, this game might not be for you.
So what can we say about this boss?
This boss, you could actually, hold on, let me get out of that. You could stop his attack. I'm gonna try to do it. It is a little tight, and I can't take damage if I fail it. But you can interrupt his attack. I'm gonna wait for him to spawn. I don't know if he comes out quicker when you're... No, I didn't stop his attack. But I don't think crashing these in real quick a lot, real fast, spawns them quicker. Like that, there you go. And you can get another free shit on him. That's the only real tech in this fight. Oh, that was the last hit anyways. So now we have one more bonus stage, and the boss rush, and then the final boss. And because of the boss rush is like a third of the run.
Yeah, it's a really long stage. Kinda unfortunately, actually. I would say it's like one of the less better parts of the speedrun in general. But I guess that was a pretty common thing back in like the 90s. Like they forced boss rushes in like pretty much most games.
You gotta pad up the time of the game.
Yeah. Well,
and of course, the first boss of the boss rush is our favorite, Fire Witch Cat Lady thing.
Yes, and that's exactly what I was just about to say. Like, and it does. Like when you're learning this kind of like for the first time and you die here, it does almost create almost like a death loop, because I don't think you get the power up that you lose if you die, right?
I think you might. I have to check the little... Oh, I'm taking too much damage already. It might actually happen, Dave.
Yeah, there you go. No, I thought you get all the power-ups and stuff after you kill her, but I could be wrong.
I honestly don't remember.
Same. It's definitely been a while, so...
Ooh, that's not bad. That's not good.
Yeah, even 2 hearts with her is kind of scary. See, the big thing is like the fire and how she can just like fly across you and drop it on your head pretty much. So like whoa, dude, like that exactly. Like that was really close.
Okay, there we go.
Oh wow.
Also, you want to be close to the center of the screen during transitions, because if you're just camping the side of the screen, it will transition further and longer.
Yeah, I always wondered about that and why. Like, it...
And because of the level 5 power-up, it creates an explosion, which makes it very easy to accidentally hit the switches, which stops the conveyor belt.
Yeah, I remember that problem when you were still running it back then. Just like hit the conveyor belt and all of a sudden swing in a different direction.
Not just in a different direction, it could also just flat out stop.
So at least in the boss rush, this guy becomes way easier.
Yeah, you already have the extra power.
Yeah, you're usually at 5 power at this point, so kind of make sure
I'm
we're
concerned about getting one shot. Because he's still the only boss that can one shot you. And now we're on the final boss, which is 4 phases with a little bit of platforming in between.
It's the worst platforming though. Like
Kind
there's
of.
these weird purple walls that can just kill you.
In an auto scroller.
Yes, it's not really a great thing.
So I just kind of stand off to him, so that when he spawns him there, I just grab him, hit him. There we go.
Easy.
We have a vertical auto scroller first.
See, like these sections are literally just made to kill you and catch you off guard. Like there's this giant purple closing wall that if you die, you have to repeat this entire section. And then there's
I think you start right before the first phase of this boss.
yeah, no, sorry, that's what I mean, like this boss in particular. But then after you kill this boss, there's like another purple wall section where if you die, you get kicked all the way back to this guy, and it's like, why does this exist?
And the second auto scroller part that's going to come up after this, you could actually accidentally run into the wall, bonk your face, and die.
I lost a couple of runs on that a long time ago.
I honestly stagger the... I let go of R here and there just to try to prevent it. Try to mitigate the risk. Oops, I did too early. You just gotta try to find the right clone to damage. Okay, I did enough damage. Sometimes if you don't do enough damage, you'll just start flying around, wasting a whole bunch of time.
Alright, purple wall. Purple, okay, purple wall avoided.
Okay, so this next phase has 3 different attacks. I need to try to defeat him on the first attack. I'll try doing so by manipulating the sword to loop into the ground, causing it to spawn blocks and damaging them in a quick succession.
I always thought this like quick kill was really nifty. I like it a lot. It's a little bit trickier than it looks also to kind of manipulate this sword this way.
You do damage boost, but they give you 2 free hearts here. Now, we want him to do lightning attack or slam his hands into the ground. We don't want him to try to grab us. But this is the final boss. Oh, he's trying to grab me.
Of course.
Oh, but he tried to grab me. Honestly, I forgot about that one. This is the lightning attack.
I used to remember thinking that lightning was not dodgeable.
You just move slightly forward when the flash comes. And that's pretty much the end of the game. It's going to be time once I lose control of Ruka.
Yes, which I used RTA Japan timing, making the SRC boards back then, so you lose like 20 seconds waiting for her to just stop moving. So, it's great. She takes a long time to stop moving. So that was apparently 26-11.
Alrighty, I'll take it.
That's pretty good.
You know, only a day and a half worth of practice. I'll take it.
Yeah, no, that was pretty good, all things considered.
I honestly, the only thing I was upset about happening was not getting the power up in the first stage. But what I saw, I did it right. I just happened not to get it. That's how it looked on my end.
It was pretty good. Like, all things considered, there really wasn't a whole lot of negative things that happened in that round. So I think that was a pretty strong marathon showing for sure.
Thank you. Thank you all for the GGs. I appreciate it. This is just the epilogue of the game where her boss gets his body back. A little backstory on Ruka. She's actually the mascot of this Japanese Super Famicom magazine that they decided to base... When they ported the Jetsons over to Japan, they decided to rebrand it with her instead.
Yeah, this is...
Like, normally Japanese games are made first, but this one was made second.
Yeah, like, this was, like, based on some kind of obscure manga or something like that came out back then. But even by Japan standards, I guess it was, like, pretty obscure too, so it wasn't, like, this crazy popular thing there.
There's no sequels, no nothing else. This is the only game with Ruka in it.
Yeah, it's
pretty... And your Oni boss that can suck infinitely like Kirby. But alright, that was the end of my run. Thank you all for watching. Thank you, Dave, for having me join your marathon. I really appreciate it. It's been fun so far. And I look forward to running another game tomorrow night. I don't know if you want to take it away or do any closing segment or whatever you're gonna do.
Yeah, we'll say a few words for sure before we go. But oof, man, you are more than welcome, Bird. And definitely go follow Bird. Bird has been just amazing dude. Like, he's one of the first people that I met on Twitch, so I'm very happy that he's here.
Thank you. Likewise, Dave.
Appreciate it.
Now to play Fortnite.
Yeah, well, you and Horace are all about that life now, so it's okay.
We're gonna become pro Fortnite streamers.
Absolutely. Do the esports thing. Yeah, thank you, sir. Appreciate that a lot.
Thank you. I'll go ahead and leave the channel.
Sure.
Well, I don't know what you're gonna do.
Yeah, like, bye! Okay. Okay, well, we can switch back to here for now, and then we can figure that out.
Alright.
Alright, so I guess I will minimize this. That way you don't have to keep sharing your screen in Discord. Alright. So, what are we doing? You want to watch me talk in my sleep? No, this was pretty crazy. I definitely appreciate everyone hanging out today. If you had a run, for sure. Definitely, if you participated. What's up, Neffids? Appreciate kind of hanging through the technical difficulties, because Kat and I did all the restreaming, so this was a lot of work for both of us, and we learned a lot today. Like, stuff that could go wrong did go wrong, so we learned how to handle that and what to do. And we're a little bit overestimate, but that's okay. Hopefully our knowledge tomorrow will be because of what we learned today. So, but I originally, when we set this up, like, we didn't have a host. We weren't 100% sure how that was gonna work. So in terms of like donations and stuff, I know a lot of people donated. I'm absolutely floored by that. So thank you very much for that. We didn't really have like a plan to like read donations because we weren't 100% sure, because it's not like we're like a GDQ operation or whatever, right, where there was like someone that we could just kind of be like, yo, you want to read stuff for like 12 hours straight? So we didn't even look for that. We thought maybe there might be some time to like read stuff in between setting up everybody, but you know what, turns out not really. There's not a whole lot of time to do that. So I do appreciate if somebody donated, and we didn't obviously like read everything out or anything like that. But yeah, I appreciate the praise there, Stormy. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it too. In terms of 2019 sucking for me, like maybe some point I'll be able to talk about it or kind of share what happened, but that's been a pretty consistent theme. Like I really didn't have a whole lot of motivation, because I think when it came to after, like before, I think we hosted something like 50 different races, a couple tournaments and stuff like that, and I've always really liked kind of like that organization, kind of like event holding part of Twitch. But after 2019 happened, like there was no motivation and like no energy, so the fact that I'm in a better place, I think that's something that I can at least appreciate or, you know, like recognize or acknowledge. But definitely glad people liked it so far. I really look forward to tomorrow. Hopefully it won't be as rocky as it was in terms of tech and stuff, but as I said, we learned a lot of stuff today, so I'm kind of glad that we threw ourselves into the fire and kind of did everything. And yeah, I think that's kind of like the closing epilogue, maybe. Huge thanks to Kat. She already went to bed. She'll do some restreaming tomorrow. She has absolutely been insane when it came to, like, for example, Princess Saw broke her finger literally today, and she couldn't do a run that she was scheduled to do with Lat Mackie. And as she told us she broke her finger, Kat literally revised the overlay with like minutes to spare, so then when Lat had his run, it didn't show like an empty space. So she has like worked tirelessly behind to like make sure everything looked good. I'm a pretty creative person, but not that creative. So I mean, she really outdid herself, and she had a lot of fun learning stuff too. But I think that's probably it for today. And thank you, Nuffits. Appreciate that too. Appreciate everybody that again threw bits or subs and stuff like that. Alerts are off, so I missed quite a bit of it. Yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. Tinyu, I think, is opening for us. She will be doing Super Castlevania 4, which is great. Tinyu is also one of the first people that I ever met on Twitch, so it's kind of cool. It's kind of very cool, honestly, to see like some of the people that you've seen forever. Because like Corv was here earlier. Kat was one of the first people that I met. Birdman just obviously did Yokai. He's one of the first people that I met. So to kind of see those people still around after like 5 years. Look, dude, there she is right there. See? But that's what I mean. Like to kind of see those people still around after 5 years is mind blowing to me. So I do appreciate that a lot.